Of course, thanks for the invitation. And I started my career in 2007 in a management consulting firm. And then in 2010, I joined a very non-Swiss executive search firm where I got to know the high level recruiting. But it was more in a classical industries. And there was not a very strong focus on digital still back then. But then in 2014, I joined a German company builder, and it was really mind blowing for me. The speed, the scale up, the profiles that we were looking for, the international scope, everything was just so exciting. And that's where I really got the passion for hiring for the digital space. So after gaining lots of experience recruiting for the whole world, and especially getting very focused on commercial leadership roles, I decided to open my business in 2018. And my partner and I, we come from diverse backgrounds. So myself, coming from the talent part and hiring globally, while he comes from operationally scaling up businesses. So we really understand what our clients are searching for. That's how the agency was created in 2018, and we are very industry agnostic. We really like working with different industries, different business models, and we have been partnering with very exciting and interesting clients, hiring their best talents throughout whole Europe and Latin America, usually. And our clients are usually Series A, B, up to Series E. We also partner with venture capital, with private equity, hiring for the portfolio companies. And our focus is really top leadership positions, depending on the structure of the company, heads, directors, VPs, and the C-level, and on the commercial positions, such as marketing, sales, operations, people, finance, and the most requested, CEOs, country managers, managing directors. For more established businesses, or lots of clients are expanding internationally, they raised the latest funding and they're looking, for example, for the first person to open a specific country, Germany, France, Spain, the UK, and so forth. So we know that working with fast-paced companies also requires you to be more flexible, be it in terms of communication, of speed, of interaction, whatever that is. And this is super important to us to provide a really great candidate experience, dynamism to both our candidates and clients, and a very relevant hiring experience. So that's a little bit more about us. Our focus, hiring top level executives throughout the whole world, more in Europe and Latin America, but focus on C-level positions, top leadership positions, and in different business models. We were growing, and when we found about Recruit CRM, we were looking for an alternative to our older ATS that would fit better agencies. The oldest one, the other ATS was more startup focused, more business focused, and not necessarily agencies. So when we started working with a new client, all the time we have a new position, a new mandate, there are very specific requirements. And these requirements are the background, the education background, seniority, experience, and everything. So sometimes we have clients that they require someone in e-commerce, sometimes D2C, sometimes in fintech, sometimes in software as a service, bit of everything. So we wanted to have a system in which we could look for candidates already in our own platform instead of outside. So first things, we wanted to leverage our own networking, our own talent pool, our own candidates that we have already talked to for a specific position. So internally, but also we wanted to be able to keep a proper track of that, of the history, with a very friendly interface, easy to use. And also what was very important to us was to have an editable hiring pipeline, because we have different stages. As soon as you start a new mandate, we have different stages of the process, since the first approach up to the placement. So we wanted to have also a very editable hiring pipeline, and that sometimes the clients also could have a good overview about it for easy KPIs and easy reports. But we wanted to have necessarily first leveraging internally our own networking, something easy to use, friendly, beautiful as well, and something editable. From previous experience, I knew that we needed to have the proper track of our projects and candidates. And given the fact that we work in a very niche segment and keeping a good relationship with our candidates in a proper system where we can easily and literally see the interaction, this was very important. So we wanted to have an ATS that were made for agencies and understood more what we need. So that's why also that was the expectation when we started working with Recruit CRM. The first impressions were really good. Recruit CRM is very easy to use, is complete, is editable, robust, and with a very nice interface. So we were also very happy with the Recruit CRM support towards the migration, because we had another ATS for years before. And of course, we had a very good pipeline there that we didn't want to lose at all. This was an early, that was the most important thing for us, of course, the migration also to go smooth. So we wanted, of course, to keep our older projects. And again, networking is so important to us that we wanted to have a proper history. And we were a bit afraid we could lose it, but luckily everything was great. And we managed to migrate the older projects to the new platform, to Recruit CRM, very easily. Very good support from your side. And everything was very well managed. Also, I really like the task option in Recruit CRM, the follow-up option. I like the fact that we can very easily, with the interface, you can very easily see the candidate and you don't have to click on so many things. In just like very easily in the little box, you can already select the tasks that you want to do, the follow-up option in X days. The automatization, I think, is really good. Plus, I cannot forget to say that the Google Chrome extension for sourcing, it was also a deal breaker for us to choose Recruit CRM, because we wanted to make sure that we were not, when we were doing sourcing, when the team was sourcing, and so we wanted to make sure that we were not double adding a candidate to the system. So someone that we had even already talked to and was a former candidate, for example, being added for the second time, for example. And these used to happen quite often in the past. That's why when we chose Recruit CRM, we also wanted to have this very good Google Chrome extension for the sourcing. So it recognized by the name and also by the LinkedIn link. And Recruit CRM is very advanced that it doesn't happen in terms of double adding. Like as soon as we see candidate, and immediately we can know that they were in the system, that they were already assigned in one specific project or so. So this was very good to us to be able to update our pool, to be able to very nicely see if they were already in the system. So this was very good, and also being able to assign directly to different stage. Plus the reports are also very good, very useful for KPIs. Of course, we don't automatize everything. We still think that the human touch is very important. Therefore, you use Recruit CRM as our ATS, but we still do lots of things manually, also in terms of like messaging, in terms of like approach, in terms of the feedbacks of populating the CRM also with the nodes, so we can have a proper track in case we reconnect with a candidate. And we think Recruit CRM is great with this. I think in this point it was much more on the easier team collaboration. It's very easy to assign tasks to team members, to have a proper, like, not to lose track of the project, to see the KPIs, to see the timing, to see the KPIs in terms of like as soon as they start a mandate, when the candidate is placed, be able to keep proper history on projects, but also on candidates. We think this is very important. So we think that very easy team collaboration and keeping a proper track of the projects, of the mandates to deliver this very good candidate experience and on time. I really recommend Recruit CRM for agencies, and honestly, I'm super happy with it. The whole team is super happy about it. Whenever we all have good things to say about it, I would give a 10. Not saying that there is no room for improvement, because there is always is, but the customer support, the customer success team, it's super helpful and ready to help and to answer the questions all the time. And also there are new features being launched all the time. So features that we didn't even think we need, but then when I opened Recruit CRM, there is, hey, we launched a new feature, saying, this is really interesting. So all the time there are new features that you guys are working proactively. I think also collecting feedbacks and everything. Even yesterday, I reached out to the customer success to suggest something in terms of projects, and the team told me that I could do something differently that's already in the system. And I was like, wow, okay, very helpful and very quickly solved my problem, let's say. So I really recommend Recruit CRM.